All right, we have some breaking news. Marvin Lewis is out as head coach of the Bengals. The team just released a statement saying they mutually decided to part ways. Lewis was the head coach since 2003, led the Bengals to the playoffs 7 times, but they were winless in those games. So, Shannon, are you surprised?
I'm not, and it was a great run for 16 years. And a lot of people don't remember what the Bengals were like before Marvin got there. They were terrible. They were terrible when I played. They were terrible for a long time until Marvin got there. They had missed the playoffs 12 straight years before hiring Marvin Lewis. And in Marvin's tenure, they won 5 AFC North titles. They went to the playoffs 5 straight times from 2011 to 2015. But the drawback, Skip, was he was 0-7 in the playoffs. He didn't win a game. He's 8-26 against Pittsburgh. And this year, Skip, he got off to a great start. And then 18 players somehow ended up being on IR.
Yep.
Tyler Eifert, tight end, Pro Bowl tight end. Adrian Green, who went healthy as a top 5 receiver, and Andy Dalton. So I don't really know what they were expecting.
Yep.
But at some point in time, you can't keep resting on what you've done.
Yep.
Yes, he went to the playoffs. Yes, he won those AFC North titles. But what have you done for me lately?
Yep.
And I think this was a good move. I mean, Cincinnati needs to go on. Marvin needs to find a new home. But as I said before the break, Skip, this is literally Black Monday because you look at Marvin, Todd Bowles, Steve Wilkes, and Vance Joseph all lost their jobs.
And Hugh before that.
And Hugh.
Yep.
And the thing for me, Skip, I think these guys deserve. Vance, you had 2 years, obviously. Todd Bowles didn't get it done, I think, in 3 or 4 years. Marvin had 16 years. But Steve Wilkes is what I don't understand. After 1 year, you saw enough in 1 year.
I don't pretend to know that situation, but I was shocked that he got only 1 year.
Yeah,
that had to go real bad, real fast.
And considering that, guy in Detroit doesn't show up late meetings, and he had a team, he inherited a team that was 9-7.
Yeah, but he's a chip off the old Belichick block.
But anyway,
right?
Yeah, I guess.
So, I also was not surprised by this, but I was sad because of it. I've told you before, I like Marvin a lot.
I like him a lot, too. I know him very well.
I know you do. I believe in him as a man, and I believe in him as a football coach. I also believe he's probably a little better coordinator of a defense than he is a head coach, but he was still a very good head coach. The problem, as you point out, after a lot of success, a whole lot of success, because they did make the playoffs 7 times, they just couldn't break through and win one of those playoff games. But in 2016, he went 6-9-1, and then 2017, he went 7-9, and this year he went 6-10, and you can't sell that to those Cincinnati fans any longer. Yet, do I think at age 60 he's got another run in him? I just do.
Yes.
Because, again, he is known to, this may be Mike Brown's philosophy also, they did take chances on some lower character football players who bit them. They didn't. Yeah, Vontez. But Marvin would be the first to tell you, as you well know, those Ravens teams, they had some borderline characters on those teams. Yeah. It's a tough game played by tough guys.
Yes.
And sometimes those tough guys aren't model citizens. So Marvin's just saying, hey, if he can play, I'm going to take a shot with him.
I mean, because the thing is, Skip, you have to have a little screw loose to play NFL football.
You do. I totally agree.
Because you're asking a man to run into another man at a high rate of speed, and you do that 60
I
times.
agree. Even if you're a good guy, you got to have a screw loose.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to be able to control it, especially once you step off the field. On the field, Skip, is organized violence. I get to do anything, and I can dress it up as a football play, Skip. And people often ask me, they say, Shannon, what is it like to play NFL football? I said, I tell you what you do. I want you to go get your top coat, and I want you to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and I want you to buy a hard hat. And I want you to line up 10 yards from your garage, and I want you to run into it as hard as you can 60 times on a Sunday. And then I want you to do it because you might have a Thursday game, and do it another 60 times that Thursday. And let me know how you feel after 3 weeks. So imagine doing that, Skip, 16 times a season. So that's over, 800, 900 hits.
So now to your point about Black Monday. This is disturbing to me. No more Bowles, no more Wilkes, no more Vance Johnson. Again, he got a shot in Denver. I don't think you can defend that.
No.
Okay. No. Marvin, Hugh. And there have been reports that Hugh has a chance to replace Marvin in Cincinnati, right? So that would be back to one, at least, black head coach.
Right.
Candidates out there, still Jim Caldwell, who was really good at what he did.
I don't even know how he got fired from the job he was at.
I don't either. David Shaw is obviously a college coach, but he's a really good college coach who deserves a shot in the NFL if he so desires. I don't know that he really wants to leave Stanford. Brian Flores is next on the list in New England as Belichick's new defensive coordinator. Eric Bieniemy is out there, but he's the quote-unquote offensive coordinator under Andy Reid. I'm pretty sure Andy does
calls the plays, though.
All of that. He just does all the above. I love Chris Richard. He's doing a wonderful job with the Dallas Cowboy defense. Just watching his body language, he has head coach body language to me, right?
Yes.
So he's got a chance to be elevated into one of these jobs. And again, could Hugh be the head coach in Cincinnati or elsewhere? Sure, he could.
Is Adam Gase out? I think
Adam Gase is out.
He's going to be out. So there are going to be some openings. But it's just hard. And you know how it is. Look, black coaches don't get recycled like the other guys. That's all I'm saying.
Not as much. It's not impossible to get recycled.
Yeah, every once in a while. Because Hugh, he got an opportunity to resurface. But a lot of people thought he was unceremoniously released. I think he went 8-8 in his 1 year at Oakland.
Yep.
But
and he took the shot on Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
They went out and got him and whatever.
And that didn't work out for him there.
Yeah.
But I just hope some of these guys get an opportunity and people look. The first time is always tough, Skip, especially when you're coming in. Marvin came in with a little bit more credentials because he's like, look, I was the mastermind behind arguably the greatest defense ever, and we won a Super Bowl. So he does come in with some cachet. But when you coming in fresh like a Vance or a Steve Wilkes or a Todd Bowles, what are you hanging your resume on?
Todd Bowles is another guy I believe in. He's a good man, and I think he's a really good football coach. Whether he's more coordinator than head coach, I don't know, but he can really coach football.
But can you ask me this, Skip?
Yeah.
How many of Coach Belichick's assistants are going to get jobs before they realize, you know what?
It's a good question.
We're not getting Bill Belichick, and he doesn't get to bring Tom Brady with him.
He does not.
Because all these guys, teams are beating down the doors trying to get these guys.
Yep. And the only one who's had any success at all is Bill O'Brien, but Deshaun fell out of heaven in his lap and saved him. Saved him. He didn't even see it coming.
No.
He wouldn't start him from game one.
Tom Savage.
Well, it's an easy segue, bringing up Brady, bringing up Belichick, because we're curious if the rest of the AFC should be scared of Brady.